In Walmart's Who'Knewville, everyone ready their cart. Amazing Black Friday deals are about to start. Online and in the app, such great deals to explore. Everything you love from tech, toys, and more. The days to save and the ones to remember. It's only the 25th to the 30th of November. Set your alarms. Don't miss out. These deals are epic, without a doubt. The Who's are all ready, but are you? Walmart Black Friday deals await. Who knew?
This episode is brought to you by Amazon Prime. Black Friday Game Day on Prime is an epic day of live sports. It all starts at 9 a.m. Eastern with the Capital One Skins game. Then, Black Friday football returns when the Bears take on the Eagles at 3 p.m. And it culminates with the final night of Emirates NBA Cup Group play with Bucks Knicks at 7 p.m. and Mavs Lakers at 10 p.m. Black Friday Game Day, only on Prime.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our U.S.-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
This episode is presented by State Farm. Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing the protection of an offensive guard on the football field, but getting an elementary school crossing guard. Sure, they're both guards, but you can only trust one to keep your quarterback safe when the game is on the line. So don't settle for just any insurance when there's State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
See you, Lee, be the best.
Good evening, everybody. We are back with another episode of Who Will Be King. I'm here with a couple of my NFC North comrades. How you guys doing today?
Couldn't be better.
Yeah, enjoying the day before Thanksgiving.
Yep, we do not have long to wait to get a chance to watch some football. A lot of football. We got games all the way. I think there's games on Friday too now, right?
Yeah, a certain individual on this broadcast team has a game on Friday.
That's right. But before we get into that, introduce yourself to the folks, starting with Pay. Yeah.
As he said, Pay from the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan channel, representing all sports coming from the Windy City. Bulls, Bears, Cubs, sometimes the Sox, and all the other ones. Simeon basketball. Love. Thanks for having me. First time joiner. Thanks for having me on the show there, Foster. Long time listener though.
That's good. I like that.
Dave Stefano from Vikings First and Skull, and first time caller as well. Now we've done this well over 100 times already, believe it or not.
Yeah, we probably got some new people in here. We gotta, it's Thanksgiving. Yeah, gotta include all crowds. But before we get into the preview of the games on Thanksgiving and beyond, we did have a Week 12 schedule. We all played at 1:00. I guess we can start with the first place team and see why they remain in first place. Pay, what happened last week?
Ooh, say that one more time. Just say that line one more time. Let's start with the first place team. Your Chicago Bears.
2 weeks in a row, no less.
Man, it's stacking those bodies. Unfortunately, we couldn't stack the body of Aaron Rodgers because he sprained his uterus. I'm trying to stuff it with opioids, but it is what it is. He sent his understudy out there to get beat up by us, and he did. Mason Rudolph can only complete 3 yards at a time, and when the clock is not in your favor, and you got to score quickly, it's not going to help you out some. So the Bears end up winning, as Dave said, 2 games in a row after they wrestled first place away from the Detroit Lions. We still sit at the top of the division after beating the Pittsburgh Steelers 31-28. How you like that? This is the third time the Bears scored over 30 this season, even though they've been they're a top 5 offense this season. For the most part of this season, they've been a top 5 offense. I think since week 3, they've been a top 3 offense. I believe that was the graphic said during the game. But in that game, you saw a lot of good things. Other than I just spoke about the offense being able to score 31, but I want to talk about the defense. Came into that game with 7 reserves having to start. Didn't have any of our linebackers that we broke camp to start. Tremaine Edmonds had to go to IR. TJ Edwards is still out. Noah Sewell in his neck roll, he had to miss. Just a litany of injuries. We already know about the situation. We have the cornerbacks, Jalen Johnson, Tremaine, Tyreek Stevenson, Kyler Gordon. Not a very good situation. Fortunately for us, we were playing I'm going to say it, the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are bereft of offensive firepower. During the game, we actually lost some more players. So it was a lot of next man up. And I love that for our team. I give Ryan Poles a lot of crap, rightfully so. He's done a lot of crap. But his depth that he put together on this team was tested Sunday, and they came out and showed every medal that they had to have. A++ for all of those guys, including DeMarco Jackson, who had his first start of his career. He had his first start, and he was tapped as the green dot. He had to be the guy who led the front 7, and he performed tremendously. Led the team in tackles. Just a great showing. I don't think the Steelers was not able to run the ball with much effectiveness, other than save for a couple of big runs. But shout out to the defense, and shout out to all the guys who stepped up and did not waver in the face of what could have been a very disastrous showing, because you do not want to lose to, 1, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and 2, the Pittsburgh Steelers led by Mason Rudolph.
It was close. It took you down to the last, 2 minutes to pull ahead?
Well, yeah, Dave, 2 things on that. 1, they scored a defensive touchdown, the Pittsburgh Steelers specialty. Their defense outscores the offense consistently for that team. Shout out to TJ Watt. Now is the leading sacker for the Watt family. 2, they scored. Well, I already talked about the defense being down, being in a precarious situation with injuries. 1, they scored 1 touchdown off a tush push fake with a long touchdown run on that. And 2, they had 2 touchdowns off of 8-minute drives. As I spoke earlier, Mason Rudolph can complete 3 yards at a time. And that was the defensive scheme for Dennis Allen. We're just going to keep everything in front of us. We're going to play cover 3. You all can't beat cover 3. So keep it right in front of us, make you take all your sweet time getting down there. And, to their credit, they were able to score in the red zone. But if you can't stop us from scoring, and it takes you damn near a full quarter just to get 7.
Yeah, I understand.
Right.
Well,
So
I can tell you, your fans' hearts this year are being tested.
Yeah, well, I speak for... I'm going to go ahead and say it. I speak for a certain segment of the Bears fandom, the darker skin tone part of that fan base. Hypertension is a big thing in our community, Dave, and the Bears are not doing us any favors. So everybody that's getting ready to eat a lovely winning plate tomorrow, keep that in mind. You got the Bears playing Friday, and if you salt up your heart on Thursday, you're gonna end up in the hospital by Saturday. So just take it easy. Take it easy, please.
Dave, you had a divisional opponent that you went head-to-head with on Sunday. How'd that go?
TP, as always, it went miserably, absolutely miserably. At the end of the first half, we were only trailing 10-6. Thank God we have a great kicker and Will the Thrill. who set a NFL record, I think first time with 4 kicks over 59 plus yards in a season, successful kicks over 59 yards. But if it wasn't for him, we had a whopping, just spectacular 4 yards of offense in the second half. 4. J.J. McCarthy absolutely is regressing. KOC, we have some questions on him. We ran the ball like crazy in the first half, and it was going well. We didn't in the second half. We didn't run the ball. We just threw. And with JJ being off the mark, sailing the balls, holding the ball way too long, taking 5 sacks on the day. We can't blame it all on the O-line. The O-line's giving him time. Now, second half of the game, both Christian Darrisaw and Donovan Jackson went out, both with ankle/foot injuries. But it was bad. Just bad. We're to the point where we're talking about who might replace J.J. McCarthy next year.
Next year?
Whoa. Next year.
Whoa.
He's unless there's a huge turnaround, he has done nothing but disappoint. And which is a shame because we believed in him. He showed flashes that he could be a fine NFL quarterback. Absolutely has the talent, has the will, has the gumption to win. He's got the right attitude. The whole works. But he has absolutely regressed in his technical portions of his how he throws a football, how his feet work, how he's processing things, and it's bad. We knew, everybody knows that when you have a huge QB class like they did in 2024, at least one of them is going to be a bust. We just didn't think it was going to be J.J. McCarthy.
It was going to be Penix, but his career. I think his career is over. But go
or
on.
the kid out.
He's always hurt. Yeah, I forgot about.
Or the kid out in Denver, Nick.
Still time.
As T-Bass says, J.J. McPonder, and it's Kevin Ponder, or Kevin Ponder. That's not his first name. Did better.
It started with. For some reason, I want to say Stephen Ponder, but I think that was his girlfriend, Christian.
His wife.
Ponder. His wife. His wife did
or for ESPN, didn't she?
Christian Ponder did. Now, but at least Christian Ponder won a playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
Got the Vikings to a playoff on the legs of it's a bitch getting old. Our star running back. And what?
Oh, you talking about Adrian Peterson?
Adrian Peterson. There we go. All day. Yes.
Oh, yeah. That helps.
But it was what it was, and it's bad. We most likely will have a different quarterback this week because J.J. McCarthy suffered a concussion during the game. At least he supposedly self-reported it on the flight home.
I got a question, Dave. I know when we was doing our shows over the off season, and you were dispelling some rumors or beliefs out there, but now that we've gotten to this point of the season with J.J. McCarthy, and you're saying he's regressing, he's looking like he's regressing. Was there actual smoke in the rumor mill that KOC was hiding him during training camp when he was mostly practicing against the second team defense, and during the season when he got hurt, and there was a discussion with, should they just keep Wentz out there and not even bring JJ back? I mean, was that accurate?
I don't think so, but I don't think so. And congratulations, Dalton. No, I don't think so. I think the game plan has always been J.J. McCarthy. They believed in J. McCarthy, even though the Vikings offered Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones contracts last year. it was with the understanding that they believed in J.J. McCarthy and he was the future. You expect a top 10 draft pick to be that guy. Now, there's the whole question of, did people evaluate him out of college correctly because of his low snap counts? Especially when it comes to passes, all that sort of stuff, the style of ball he played, and all that's being brought up. There's possibly a whole college scouting department of Minnesota Vikings gets fired this offseason, which I wouldn't be too disappointed with. And that's just me speculating. I don't know that for a fact, but it's me speculating. Now, will he play this weekend? We'll get to that here when we talk about this weekend.
All right. So the last game we're going to talk about is the Detroit Lions against the New York Giants. This was in Detroit, and I went into the game, looking at it as a get right game. Hopefully, a nice little bridge game to Thanksgiving, but they took us to the brink. I think we went to overtime. But yeah, Jameis Winston had himself a game. It wasn't a great game as far as completions are concerned. He only completed 18 of 36, but the completions that he did connect on were consistently over 20 yards. In fact, that's what the average was. He had 366 yards passing. Andale Robinson had 179 yards, and they had a couple trick plays. I mean, they were playing loose. They were playing pretty much for their slim playoff hopes, and they hung it all out there. They had a flea flicker early on in the game, which resulted in a long bomb to Wan'Dale Robinson. And then later on in the game, they had a throwback where Jameis Winston got his first completion. He made a little juke move and a stiff arm on Derek Barnes and got into the end zone, hit us with the blade dance. They were feeling it. They were swagging. They were kind of taunting the Detroit crowd. Jahmyr Gibbs, needless to say, bailed us out. He had 219 yards rushing the ball. Jared Goff had a pretty par for the course day for himself, and Amon-Ra had 149 yards himself. He's still, I don't know. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a pretty sure-handed receiver, one of the more sure-handed receivers in all of football, but he did have a couple drops. One of them hit off his hand, and the Giants were able to intercept the ball. So, the key play in the game, Jameis Winston, we know that he's a gunslinger. He's got a nice deep ball, but he did bail us out one time with the interception by Thomas Harper, who's playing for Kirby Joseph, who remains out, and that ended up hurting them in the end. The other controversial play in the game was when they were driving down and they had an opportunity to kick a field goal, which would have made it a 6-point game, making us have to score a touchdown to end of the game, but they decided to go for it. And Malik Neighbors actually had some things to say about that at the end. Basically like, it kind of feels like they were trying to lose. He would later go on to delete the tweet, but the damage was done. The Lions would go down and kick a 59-yard field goal, a 59-yard field goal, send it to overtime. And I think on the first play from scrimmage, Jahmyr Gibbs took it to the house. That dude is I think he's probably the most dangerous player on any given play. He can take it, he can turn it into a home run and take the ball as far as it needs to go. He bailed us out of that game. The defense has looked good lately, but a lot of broken coverages, a lot of big plays in the secondary. Definitely, were some shakeups after that. A couple guys lost their job, in spite of the fact that, the secondary, DJ Reed was back. DJ Reed looked good. Still waiting on Terrion Arnold, still up in the air whether or not he'll play today, but This would have been a very detrimental game to lose. We were able to pull it out. A lot of fans were ready to jump off the wagon. Some people still don't believe after this game. And, losing to the Giants, I don't blame some of the, especially the pessimistic people that are waiting for, for something bad to happen. So, yeah, but we ended up pulling it out. 3 targets from Jameson Williams, but 0 receptions, 0 yards. He did have one nice screenplay that was nullified by a blocker downfield, but still hoping to find some more targets for him. Sam Laporta is out for the season. We kind of seem to be missing him a little bit. That's one of Goff's favorite targets. So, yeah, but in the end, we were able to pull off the victory, but it was not pretty, to say the very least.
Well, I can tell you, Vikings fans, when I went live on the air at our 2-minute warning, Vikings fans were tracking your game, especially, and Pays, but especially yours, because at that point in time you were behind.
Yeah,
and
we
they
were down
for a Giants win, of course.
Yeah, I think we were down until we won. So got some fans from all over the place. Got some Niners fans in.
I see that bang bang Niners gang.
Javian said, "Shut up." But let's get to the first break.
Now, Foster, you do have some news today.
We do. We have some. It's almost like they waited for knowing that the show was about to, go live. But yeah, our 4-time Pro Bowler, center Frank Ragnow, has decided to come out of retirement, which is a very big deal for us. We have a lot of injuries on our interior offensive line right now. Christian Mahogany's out, and Graham Glasgow is also going to be out for the Thanksgiving game. Ragnow will obviously not be back for this Thanksgiving game, but I said it offline. Dan Campbell might have sent in a specific call out to Ragnow because we're in dire straits right now on the interior. But once we get Mahogany's going to be back for a while. I think Glasgow will be back pretty soon. Miles Frazier, who we drafted, I think, in the 4th or 5th round, was a full participant in practice and is questionable for the game today. He will be able to help out as well. But that, once everybody is relatively healthy, that will shore up definitely our biggest weakness, and something that has been a topic of conversation all year. So, major return for us. He was the 2nd rated center in all of football last year. Only 29 years old too. So I don't know, in my mind I thought he was a little bit older, but certainly has had an extended period of rest time. So that was the hot and big news right before we went live today.
It is. And that makes you guys more difficult.
I guess it should. It obviously Gibbs has found some holes, regardless, but just protection. Yeah, the pass protection will certainly improve, and we'll only be stronger with having our center back. So I am very excited.
How many weeks over under for him to build up a lather so he's back back in game shape?
Well, we're going into week 13, so we don't have a lot of time for him to get right. But I say, he's not even gonna play this. He's not even gonna play this week. I give him about a good 2 weeks, and he should be back up and running. I really don't know. It's like, hopefully it's like riding a bike and it doesn't take too long, because we got the Steelers coming up. Well, beyond the Packers. Thought that about the Giants, so I don't want to say that, but obviously we got some divisional opponents coming up, the Vikings and Bears, and Yeah. So hopefully he'll be back for the next divisional opponent, I'm thinking. But the Lions will be the first team out of the NFC North to play this week, and that will be tomorrow on Thanksgiving against the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers will be, coming in pretty confident after a win against the Minnesota Vikings. But yeah, this is certainly a must-win game for the Lions. We already fell to them in Green Bay, and we're at home, and got to win one because we're behind them right now. So Jordan Love he only went 14 of 21 and only had 139 passing yards. In my opinion, he hasn't been the same since Tucker Kraft was out for the year. He does have Christian Watson back, who didn't have a great game against Minnesota, but he did have 2 touchdowns against the New York Giants. So that's going to be probably his top weapon, I'm thinking. They didn't have who was the running back? Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs did not play, but last week. But Emmanuel Wilson had 107 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. So the running attack is going to be something that we definitely have to key in on, because regardless of who's out there, I'm assuming Josh Jacobs will be back, but it appears that they're going to lean on that pretty heavily because Jordan Love's just been okay, like I said, without Tucker Kraft. But their defense is proven to be, the real deal. A 4th overall in total defense, 5th in pass, and 6th in rush against the rush. And I think the biggest thing for the Lions offensively is going to be pass protection. I expect to have them key in on Jahmyr Gibbs and just hope that, they're hoping that anybody but Gibbs will beat them. So that should open up some opportunities for David Montgomery, although I do think that he will be, he'll be utilized in pass protection quite a bit. They're going to move Gibbs around between the backfield and spreading him outside. And I think Isaac Tesla and Jamison Williams need to be more of a factor. Tesla had a nice catch at the very end of the Packers game in week 1 in a losing effort, and he's been kind of quiet. I haven't seen a whole lot of him. As I said previously, Jamison Williams had three targets last week, 0 receptions that counted for anything. It seems like the penalties have come at inopportune times and have nullified a couple different opportunities for Jamison Williams. But if we can get the running attack going, that should open things up down the field. But I think the Lions get the job done in spite of the fact that we have a pretty lengthy injury list. As I said, Graham Glasgow is out, Kirby Joseph will be out, Khalif Raymond will be out, and so will Brock Wright. So we are down to our number 3 tight end, who I can't even speak of by name. I know we moved Jackson Meeks, who came in as a practice squad receiver. We moved him over in emergency to tight end. As far as the guys that are questionable, Terrion Arnold, Marcus Davenport was a full participant at practice, so we might get a chance to see him.
Shock.
Yeah, full participant of practice, and he's questionable. So the opposite side to Hutch has been kind of quiet. So Al-Qadim Muhammad has been contained pretty good. So we'll see if Davenport is able to suit up. And Miles Frazier was also a full participant at practice. So hopefully he'll play some interior offensive line for us.
Well, I can tell you that Green Bay does not defend the run well. And I think that gives you guys the 2.5-point favorites that you're showing right now.
I can tell you another thing, that even though it's Toyotathon, I don't think Jordan Love's going to keep it up right now. No Diddy. Without Tucker Kraft and Jacob being out, I think the Toyota-thon mystique is going to wear thin on your boy J Love. I like Detroit in this week.
They got pretty busy on us 2 years ago on Thanksgiving. So I'm hoping for better fortune.
Y'all not gonna let it. Y'all not letting them sweep y'all. Come on.
Yeah. I hope not.
Detroit's always been part of the Thanksgiving Day tradition, and I still remember
turkeys.
Yeah, and I still remember, whether it be Stafford and Megatron, and most likely Detroit losing on Thanksgiving. But hopefully you'll pull out the win on this one, because FTP.
So the next game we got
Green Bay, a bunch of turkeys. Go ahead, Ian.
The next game will be on Friday. You got the Bears and Eagles. How do you see that going?
So, the Bears are taking their second 4-game winning streak into Philly to play the defending champs. Dave said it earlier. I think the Bears are still a 7-point dog, which is, I don't have a problem with that. Some other lines that we've seen earlier this year, I did have problems with, and the Bears rightfully covered that and outright won. This game is going to be a test, though. The best team the Bears have played since week 2, easily. All disrespect, granted, to everybody who feels a certain way about that. But I like the Bears' shot. I like their chances. They were in need for those chances that I think the Bears have. They would need to actualize it by activating Kyler Gordon and Jalen Johnson by tomorrow. If we can't get our top 5 corners back in time for this game. Not that I think that Philadelphia's offense, is that dynamic or to be feared, that we need to have those 2 top 5 quarters. It's just that we need to start getting some bodies back. We can't keep playing these games of attrition and hoping to win. At some point, it's going to play at some point it's going to bite you. You know what I'm saying? Nahshon Wright, having him as a starting corner for all season so far has worked out in our favor. But there's been times in this season that it showed that, hey, he's a little bit above his depth. But
he was
this ain't about
Minnesota for a reason,
right? Yeah. I mean, he's a big and aggressive corner. We love that about him. But he also, his eyes gets locked in the backfield a little bit too much. He can get burnt because he's not saying bald man, just still a basketball phraseology. We will go into depth about this game. That will post Friday morning, perhaps. When we preview this game on the First of the Chicago Sports Fan channel. I will say this: you all saw how Philadelphia blew that lead against Dallas. Now you might say, well, it's a division game, and Dallas got a high flying offense. Dallas had the same high flying offense when they played the Bears. It wasn't too high flying. The Bears put 38 on them. But it's not about that. It's about who's missing for Philadelphia. Lane Johnson. I think Lane Johnson is their best offensive player. Lane Johnson is probably one of the best, top 10, 15 tackles in NFL history. He's walking right into the Hall of Fame when he's done. Do you know that Lane Johnson, during his career, the Eagles have a 12-21 record in games he's missed? More to that to come. And he's supposed to be out 4 weeks now. This would be his second game missed. Saquon Barkley had his worst rushing game last week. First game missed. I like if anything we've learned from Ben Johnson, Declan Doyle, Dennis Allen, and the rest of them, we know that they actually do the work. We know that they actually grind tape. We know that they actually try to attack teams where their weakest at. Not like those bozos we've had calling shots the years prior. No disrespect to Eberflus, but all disrespect granted. I like the Bears' opportunity here. If they can get some players back, if they can expose some weaknesses here and there, some flaws in the Philly system, some chinks in their armor, the Bears can cover. Now, outright win, well, we'll talk about it. But I like the Bears. I'm giving the Bears a decent shot.
The one thing I've noticed about the Bears this year is Ben Johnson has brought teaching of how to win. And you guys have won when you were down quite often. And that whole learning how to win is going to be huge in the future.
Agreed. In order to win, you gotta win. And that sounds dumb, right? But when you think about it, there's nothing you do in life that doesn't take some type of learning and experiencing. You don't just roll out of bed and start winning the games. No, you gotta do the work and learn how to win. And the Bears only knew how to lose prior to Ben Johnson coming into the building, and now they're learning how to win, learning how to believe in themselves, learning how to shoot themselves in the foot. Shout out to Cheddar Bob. And it's definitely going to pay off down the road. I think this team isn't going to be one of those teams that's marked for regression moving forward just because of that, that being the most important part. They know how to get things done when all things are pointing in the opposite direction.
Yep. And it's disheartening for the rest of the day.
Yeah. All right, Dave. You got the last game of the week. You guys play on Sunday?
Sunday, the late afternoon game out in Seattle.
Ooh, you playing football on Sunday?
Yeah.
So outdated.
I know. And it always seems that we go to Seattle. Well, it's the second year in a row we're in Seattle. And we play Seattle almost every year for some stupid reason. We used to joke that they were the Vikings of the West, and they used to joke we were the Seahawks of the East or whatever. But it's going to be an interesting matchup because Sam Darnold, who was our quarterback last year and is having a fantastic season, will take on his former team and coach I'm sure he quite enjoyed, KOC. Question is, who's going to be a quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings? As of right now, J.J. McCarthy is still on concussion protocol. He practiced today, but not with the team. Max Brosmer led the team. And generally with JJ or with KOC, if you're not taking Wednesday practice leading the first squad, you're out. So I fully expect Max Brosmer to be starting on Sunday against Sam Darnold. The Vikings are not favored, unsurprisingly, to the tune, it just jumped today. 11.5 points the Seahawks are favored by. That's crazy. Because our defense is still good, decent. Brian Flores knows Sam Darnold's weaknesses and how to affect them. Heck, he stopped the Bears once. He stopped the Lions this year. And I fully expect him to cause Sam Darnold a freaking afternoon worth of headaches.
But not JSN, though, right? I kind of need him. Kind of need him right now.
Look for him to be kept under 100 yards.
Has anybody done that? He's the best receiver in football right now, isn't he?
He's putting closing in on Calvin Johnson's record. That's
he's closing in on the record
of what?
Receiving yards
for well over 2,000.
That's crazy. But you're going to hold him to under 100 yards? Why?
Just because Brian Flores plays defense that way. We take out the most important. It comes from the Bill Belichick school. We'll take out your most important player and let you beat us otherwise. We did it with the Lions. We've done it with other teams this season. Now, we'll find out if it works. We'll find out. We're there, and I haven't looked at the weather, but I'm sure it's mid-40s and rainy and cold. But the question is, how will our offense do? Will there be a bounce back? Will Justin Jefferson's attitude suddenly change when he has somebody who throw him the foot? I don't know. Will Darisaw and Donovan Jackson be back? I fully expect they both will. So it's going to be interesting. I would not take the Seahawks with an 11.5 point spread. No. But could they? Yeah. But I fully expect Max Brosmer to be adequate and better than J.J. McCarthy's been playing. And that to be better is a low bar.
Right.
It is a low bar. But
That's
I don't even know who Max Brosmer is.
me either. I couldn't tell you $1 million where he went to school.
He's undrafted free agent.
Wow.
He played most of his career at University of New Hampshire before transferring to University of Minnesota, which he led, and he had one record in the NCAA. But he's been around a while. He's only 2 years older than J.J. McCarthy. But he's not going to rifle the ball 100 miles an hour like J.J. McCarthy does. He doesn't have that talent, but he can throw the ball 40 or 50 miles an hour, or 40 or 50 yards downfield with no problem. He's a quick processor, and he's very, very good over the middle in the intermediate range, which is where KOC loves to play football.
That's maybe then. That's what you need at the
Well,
time.
it very well could be, but we're going to have to find out. I know there's been talk that there have been coaches and staff that have wanted to see Max Brosmer since early in the season when J.J. McCarthy started to regress. And since when was that? About week 1? Because how he's led the scout team. He's done well. He did great in the preseason. But, he's a UDFA. People get scared about UDFAs. How many UDFAs became starters? Well, there's a few. There's a small handful.
Theo Benedict for the Bears.
Well, I'm talking quarterbacks.
Well,
you have Tony Romo's one. There are some. Yeah. There are a few.
Kurt wasn't drafted either, though, right? I don't think so.
No, but Canada first, right? Or the Arena League?
Arena. He was in Arena League.
The Hall of Famer?
First ballot.
That's he did all right from some.
There are some, and it's just all we can hope for as Vikings fans is that suddenly the JJ or the Max Brosmer, and it's pronounced bro and not bras. Brosmer is like the Purdy to Trey Lance.
Well, Purdy got drafted, albeit last.
He got drafted. He was the last one, but Trey Lance was taken in the first round, and they traded, 2 or 3 first rounders for him.
He's still big.
I'm not sure. I think
he's with Dallas last, right?
I think he's out, though. I'd have to look
that up.
I don't know who's worse. San Francisco for picking him, or Dallas for trading for him? Because Dallas knew better. And they still did.
Well, I mean, one more chance. Gotta give one more crack at it, right?
They was playing in Dak face. It was disrespectful.
It was Trey Lance flashed at UND. Not UND. UNSD. Not UNSD. University of North Dakota State.
That's a
school. And
is that accredited?
Yes.
Community college.
They are a very good Division I school, believe it or not, even though it's a lower division. But problem with Trey Lance is he had no reps. It's just like J.J. McCarthy.
I'm like, hello.
Very limited playing time. Did he win a national championship with the NDSU Bison? Yes. But it is what it is. Trying to think, where did he play last? It's not telling me. But I think he's out.
San Diego. Oh, you talking about
Chargers is where he's going active.
Not San Diego, we're at LA.
Yeah. Chargers.
Played 2 games this year,
And
it looks like.
And
That's
J.J.
2 games,
McCarthy will
not
always
2 full games.
again because he's a first-round draft choice and it's top 10, and he's going to probably bounce from team to team once we release him. But if we release him, if he doesn't figure it out,
Damn, you ready to let him go? That's crazy.
people are pissed.
Rightfully so.
It's the KOC, supposedly the QB whisperer, right? T-Bass. I know T-Bass is in the comments. He's supposed, KOC is supposed to fix quarterbacks. Now he picks and chooses which ones, but he's the one that drafted him.
How many starts is he in now? Like 5?
He's won 2, lost 4. And the 4 he's lost, they keep getting worse and worse.
He's bottoming out for sure.
I mean, can you get any worse? Eddie keeps getting hurt. I think that's the bigger part.
And that's another big deal.
That's not helping.
Injury. He had the meniscus that cost him his rookie season. Then he had the high ankle sprain early this year. Then he had his throwing hand? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That he bruised. And then now the concussion. And the term injury prone is coming out.
Definitely looking like that, what was it? What's the name of that board game? Operation? Definitely looking like that guy from him right now.
Yep. So, hey, I hope we win. I hope we surprise and shock the NFL world. And Max Brosmer throws for 5 touchdowns. I would love that.
That'd be the last you see of JJ if that's the case.
It very well may be already. If Brosmer plays significantly better.
Crazy. Ooh.
There'll be talks to keep him benched.
So
And there's the whole idea that, hey, was his concussion a real concussion or was it a soft benching?
Someone already said that. All right, well, let's take this last break, and then we're going to talk about a little early playoff talk. All right, let's see if we can pull up the playoff picture here. Push everybody to the side. All right. And hopefully you can figure out who's on the far end, the leaders anyways. You got the Seahawks, Packers. No, what is that?
Rams.
So, okay, so as we look at the current playoff picture, obviously the Bears are in, of course. The Lions and Vikings on the outside looking in. From the in the hunt portion, anybody, I'll eliminate the Lions as far as my guess, but who do you see falling out of the wild card and from the in the hunt getting into the wild card picture?
So out of the wild card, you got the Seahawks, Packers, and 49ers. And in the hunt, you have the Detroit Lions, followed by the Carolina Panthers, Dallas Cowboys, and tied at the last 2 spots of in the hunt graphic, you got the Atlanta Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings at 4 and 7. Falling out of the wild card.
Vikings and Falcons haven't been mathematically eliminated yet.
True, but they're in the graphic. I for the last 5 years, I just wanted to be in the graphic, Dave.
Oh, okay. I fully understand that.
Hey, I've been there. I've been there.
For you,
Just
not for us. For you,
just give me some hope. Just give me some hope, and that was perfect. But right now, in the wild card, for the 3 teams that's holding a wild card spot right now, if I had to pick a team that's going to fall out of it, it's easy pickings, right? I think we're all thinking the same thing. Those Wisconsin guys, get them out of here. And it's not just hate that I'm saying that for. I mean, just check it out. We expect Detroit to flip them at some point in the division, right? I think. And this week is the perfect time for that to happen. Detroit go ahead and win that game. Vegas thinks they're going to win that game. I think they're going to win that game. They fall right out of it. I think that's the easy pick. Does anybody disagree with Green Bay being the one that falls off that wild card line?
no, that's what I want to see.
And
And they've got a tough schedule ahead.
Yeah, they got the Bears twice.
They've got the Lions, they've got the Bears, then they've got the Broncos at Denver, then the Bears, and then the Ravens, and then us. In the end, playing spoiler.
Yeah, that's tough. Denver and Denver. Yeah, outside of the Lions, the Cowboys. I mean, I would say the Panthers, but the Panthers they already lost pretty big. They didn't look great against the 49ers. Yeah, the Cowboys, the offense seems to be clicking. Dax look good. They got a nice two-headed monster with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, who I feel like Pay, you were kind of like, you weren't crazy about Pickens, but he's been pretty solid. Even Lamb's been hurt this year, and he was able to hold it down.
It's CeeDee Lamb that's out here looking like George Pickens. Can you catch the ball, bro? Can you catch the ball? You killed one of my fantasy teams already. Mm-hmm. Thanks. Can you help out the other one? Can you catch the ball?
Whereas George Pickens is having this career season.
You know what's crazy is the Pittsburgh Steelers could use a guy like George Pickens, right?
And there's some.
And I hear it from our Steelers friends. I heard it this morning.
What is DK? Is DK doing anything over there? Yeah, he's washed, huh?
No. The DK, I mean, he's only as good as his quarterback, and they have a washed quarterback.
That's true. So, yeah, they got a pretty good running back, too. Javonte Williams is pretty solid as well. Defensively, I don't know how good they are. Obviously, they could use Micah. But yeah,
they're the same. They're the same without Micah. They get beat on the run, but they offer a good bit of a pass rush. But I don't want to deviate too far, but I mean, Jerry's not looking too bad right now
with the trade. Yeah. Didn't they make a trade for the Jet?
I don't recall. I don't know.
Anyhow, let's pull up the AFC.
You notice the strongest division that looks like to have 3 teams come out of it this year is the NFC West.
Right.
And not the North.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's still possible.
And Rams.
Yeah. I mean, the Rams, yeah. Stafford's just...
Yeah, the West is tough.
The Niners, Warner, Bosa, they're both hurt, and they're just like, this is what we do. Robert Saleh. All right, so now we're in the AFC. You got on both sides. It's kind of like I didn't expect the Rams to be the best team in the NFC, and I certainly didn't expect the Patriots to be 9-2 either. But here we are.
So the Ravens actually are the division leader in the AFC North. They have a tiebreaker over the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Was the record wrong?
No. They're both 6-5. They're both 6-5.
Graphic says 5-5. I think. Anyhow,
they're both 6-5, and they do have to play each other twice down the stretch.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, they were the Ravens.
You see the number one team right there, the New England Patriots, at 9-2 or 10-2?
10-2.
10-2. 9-game winning streak. No, it's a 10-game winning streak now, right?
He lost the first 2.
Yep,
I think so. Yeah,
Drake May is working his way up to being MVP.
I would give him my vote. I would give him the vote.
He's leading the league.
I would. He's leading the league in yards, if I'm not mistaken. Again, 10-game winning streak now. Everybody talks about the Bears' schedule. The Patriots' schedule ain't been tough either. Nor has the schedule for those Broncos, who are not on the graphic, but they are right behind the New England Patriots. I think they're 9-3, right?
Yes.
Leading the AFC West.
Yeah, they lost to the
Yeah, I mean, crazy. All 3 quarterbacks came out of the same draft class, and they all getting the same rap about. Well, 2 of them are not getting that rap, but they all have had kind of soft schedules.
Well, that's what happens when you have the 4th place schedule. I was going to ask you about that, Pay, since I'm looking at it next year.
You better take advantage of it next year, Dave.
With Brosmer at the helm.
Brosmer. Yeah.
You were going to ask? Oh, I bet you had some.
No, I was going to ask Pay about playing the 4th.
Oh. How's he like it?
Yeah.
I don't think this schedule that the Bears have this year is a true. Well, it is, because I thought last year's schedule was a lot easier than the one this year. It is, but I mean, coming into the season, it was supposed to be tougher. But, you still got to play the games, and a lot of things happen and things change, and it pretended to be a lot tougher than it actually was. But, yeah, Dave, like I said, better strike while the iron's hot.
Mm-hmm.
Get them
2 years
easy
ago,
ones in.
played the NFC South
Mhm.
or AFC South. One of those two. They were horrible. AFC South.
Yeah,
They still are.
But yeah, as far as teams in the hunt, I mean, the Texans have I think they have the best defense in football, possibly.
Mhm.
So you can't really count them out. I don't know about C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, Hunter is looking ageless.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then you got the guy from Alabama on the other side.
Yep. And they're killing people.
I would love to have that type of pass rush or something close to that. And then you can never count out the
Stay
Chiefs
healthy.
either, though. You said what?
And could stay healthy like they are.
Yeah. Yeah, you can never count out the Chiefs. They're just no matter what. Gotta assume that Mahomes is going to make a good push towards the end of the year. The Jaguars, I don't know. Trevor Lawrence, is he for real? Hunter's out.
Chiefs are 6-5, and their Super Bowl odds went up.
Yeah, I mean it should always be talked about. I would think.
I'm just really annoyed by the glaze of the Kansas City Chiefs. But look, I'm not going to do it right now. I'm not going to do it. They're not going to even make the playoffs.
You don't think that?
They play Dallas tomorrow, and that is expected to be a record-setting Thanksgiving Day game for attendance for viewers.
Views.
But that will wrap up the show for the week. I want to wish all the viewers happy Thanksgiving, and my fellow host happy Thanksgiving. But what do you guys have going on for the rest of the week?
Over at the Frustrated Chicago, we will be previewing the upcoming game between the Bears and the Eagles. Expect that to hit your airwaves I just dated myself, airwaves. I would expect it to hit all of your RSS feeds on Friday morning, sometime before the game. I don't want to bother you on Thursday. I know you're going to be stuffing your face, enjoying the sports holiday that it is. And so Friday, grab your leftovers. Check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you get your podcasts. Check out that preview before you watch the game of the two division leaders of the NFC North and the NFC East. Elsewhere, coming on right after this, we will be talking pay dirt. We will be getting in those weekly bets because the games don't stop. Gambling never stops. But check us out, First Rate Chicago Sports Fan Channel.
Vikings First and Skol. Today I put out a Scoling with Friends episode. Tyler and I were invited on to Hawk's Nest, and we had Mr. Kane, Brandon Kane, hosted us, and we converted it. Went out on podcast this morning, and the link to the podcast if you want to watch it's in the write-up. We have tomorrow morning, because Tyler is down in Mexico. He made it out ahead of the snow this morning, and he's somewhere in Cancun enjoying Tecate beer and margaritas. We did pre-record the Seahawks preview. It will go out tomorrow morning on YouTube because we want to do it before the game starts so you can watch that and then sit down and have a full day of football and food. And then, of course, Saturday, we have two old bloggers, and we'll be previewing the game as well as covering the week's news, which there is plenty, i.e. with J.J. McCarthy and Max Brosmer all being topics. But from Vikings First and Skol, we wish you all a happy and safe Thanksgiving full of great food and great beverage. And we hope make it through safely, and we can't wait to see you on the other side.
Hey, what do they say in Chicago, Dave?
Of course, we say, Skol Vikings!
Thanks, everyone.
Get your leg back. If another game owe you something, ain't no shit chat. Better stay up out the way, don't get your shit flat.